today on STV, and we're continuing with the ongoing discussion. The nomination process for 492 delegates into the National Conference is an ongoing process, and Nigerians will have a chance in deciding what works for them. In the run-up to the conference, there have been votes of discontent as well as approval, illustrating a very straightforward and sometimes complex process. Joseph Eva is the coordinator of the Ijaw monitoring group, and he joins Chichi and I to discuss the National Conference as well as the Niger Delta. Chichi.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Mr. Eva.
Good morning.
Okay, let's start off by asking you, referring to the modalities, what you as a leader in the Niger Delta make of the parameters that have been set by the government for the National Conference.
Well, in the first place, we welcome the idea of sitting together, meeting, discussing issues that will make Nigeria move forward, because the way we are now, there are a lot of problems. We all agree that there are a lot of problems. There is this distrust among the ethnic groups. Because of that, we have this pull him down, or pull this section down, pull this tribe down, pull this issue down type of mentality. And coming together to discuss is not a new thing. If it is discussions that will operate and move this nation forward for the sake of our children, it's a welcome development.
Okay, so you say you have no problems or no issues with the modalities?
No, what the problems I have now is, again, one, time factor. Time factor. The 3 months period is not enough. We are talking about Nigeria. We are not talking about Togo or Benin Republic. We are not talking about Benin Republic. We are talking about Nigeria, the most populous country in Black Africa, coming to discuss their problem. 3 months. Even with the way we are seeing some ethnic groups are out of this very discussion. These ethnic groups that are out of discussions will form themselves, organize themselves, and come to the conference and start banging the door. We are qualified to come inside. We are qualified to come inside. Only to resolve that problem, it will take more than 1 month. So I don't think it is necessary for us to give that time frame of 3 months. It will not work out. I'm against that. Then another one is the ethnic groups. If it just are 1 million, if Ogonis are 3 persons in the Nigeria marriage, let us be there as equal partners in this project called Nigeria. All ethnic groups. And I hear some people are telling us that the ethnic groups in Nigeria, we don't know the number of ethnic groups that are in this country. If we say all the ethnic groups should come to this country, we have more than 10 billion ethnic groups and all that. That is childish argument. These are the people who are confusing people in government to cause problem. Right from even before independence, the Europeans know the ethnic groups that form the country called Nigeria. The independent constitution, the republic constitution, all these constitution, they identify ethnic groups in this country. So why will we in the 21st century we are talking about we are not aware, we don't know the ethnic groups that are in this country? We want all ethnic groups to be present. Any ethnic group that is out of this arrangement will cause problem. They can disturb this conference, and at the end of the day we achieve nothing. So we should identify the ethnic groups and let all the ethnic groups come to that table to discuss the marriage called Nigeria. Right. Outside that, it is unacceptable.
Well, we're pressed for time, especially against the conference, and we know that we may not get exactly everything we want. So we're going to work with half bread rather than none at all. So you go to this conference, what exactly are you going to be pressing on for? Okay,
we, especially the Niger Delta people, we want equal rights. We don't want a situation whereby you are using the resources of one area to develop others. You are discouraging others not to temper with their natural resources. So our own fear is that the day our resources dry up, then some people will now say, let us renegotiate this country. That is our own fear. So we want this country to go back to the independent constitution and the republic constitution, 1963 constitution. Every region manage your own resources and pay tax to the federal government, because we are all interested in the country called Nigeria. I'm hearing that some people in government are saying there should be no-go area. There are some certain things we should not discuss about whether Nigerians should separate or whether Nigerians, every region should go their way or tribe should go their way. Look, we have to go and discuss that. Nobody is interested in Nigeria breakup. Nobody.
Resolutions will be passed at the end of that conference, and
yes.
will also be voted on. Nigeria is a marriage of several ethnic tribes and groups and all of that stuff. Have you reached across to the other tribes to see, for example, what I'm asking for will be agreed by the other tribes before the conference? What's the thinking like?
No, it is natural something, because part of that conference, we want the United Nations to be invited. Because in the category of groups and federal government appointees and this and that, I did not see United Nations observers type of thing. It is funny. It is funny because these are the people who we say, look, what we are discussing. If we are talking about resource control, any other party is not discussing resource control. There are foreign observers that will tell people, why will you not be interested in your... There is no part of... Every part of this country, you have resources. And people have to develop resources in their area. Why are you saying you are keeping your resources until you finish other people's resources? The United Nations observers are the people that will come and even discuss and explain some certain type of things for us to have that lineup. So if some people in that conference say, look, we are taking the result to National Assembly, United Nations will say no. There must be a referendum for you to now say this is what the people of Nigerians are saying, not House of Assembly issues. Then these United Nations observers will also be interested in why is it that socio-ethnic group is not there. Instead of bringing 7 policemen, 7 police, national and armed forces, this and that, you should use the ethnic groups to replace them.
All right, Mr. Eva, how optimistic are you in the entire process and in this conference? Because people have said it could have a political undertone.
Well, there is nothing that it does not have a political undertone. There is nothing. Everything people say there is political undertone. Even for us to discuss this thing also, if there is political undertone, we want peace in the country. If you want peace in your country and people are grumbling and all that, if there are some people who want to bring political undertone to your own disadvantage, you confront them. And if for us not to have the previous problems we had during all this type of conference, that is why we are talking about equal number of persons. If Ijaw are 2, Ishekris must be 2. Ogon is 2. Yoruba 2. Fulani 2. That is when you now know that we are all equal in this partnership. So if you are not aware of the number of people that are coming from, for example, the way I'm seeing some of the arrangement, if Odwa is not the governor of Delta State, it will be difficult for Ishekiri man to go to that conference. Now that he's a governor, he will make sure that the Ishekiri person go to that conference. But we should make it in a way that even if your own ethnic group is not holding political position, the equity and justice, fair play should allow your ethnic group to go to that place.
Okay.
Because the Ichekiris are minority. So if you are talking about senatorial zone to send people and all that, now you will see that the micro-minority tribes will not go there unless somebody from your micro-minority is holding political office like ministerial office or governorship office. That is when they will now force their own people to go to that conference.
All right, say if you go to that conference and you already have your proposition, you already have what you expect to take out of that conference, and this is not yielded, what are you going to do?
Well, it is not possible for all the issues that you want to be handled. It is not possible. There is another day for us to still discuss. It is not possible, and with the time frame, and that is why I'm also afraid of this time frame. Because now Nigerians are talking about the people who want to represent them as State House of Assembly members, Federal House of Assembly members, governors. This is the tension. So there is tension already now in the country. Who will be my governor? Who will be my State House of Assembly member? Who will be a member of the House of Reps? Everybody is now mobilizing for that. Then we are now also dealing with conference matter. We have to be very careful and we have to be tactical. If not, these two things, when they clash, we have more confusion again. That is my fear.
Joseph Eva, let's talk about the Niger Delta. Recently, the special advisor to the president of Niger Delta, Kingsley Koku, said that a number of achievements had been made with respect to the amnesty. 7 years gone has been successful. What's your reaction to that?
Well, yes, he is right. Because there is relative peace and Nigeria is making money, enjoying oil money, budgets. These are that $700 trillion here, spend for this and that, spend for this and that. You can see the airports, renovations, and a lot of things that are happening. You can see the railway and all that. If there is no oil revenue coming in, there is no way you can be talking about the success story of the railway or what the airline, the airports are doing or road construction and all that. So what Kingsley Koku is telling us is the bitter truth that maybe some people don't want to hear, because with the amnesty situation, we are now engaging the idle brains.
Okay.
Now we are also still saying that it is not enough. Because these idle brains that we are training and all that, there is no job for them.
All right, Mr.
We are asking
Ijaw.
the federal government, what is wrong for the federal government to get us 500 fishing trawlers for us to go into commercial fishing? What is wrong? Why can't the federal government give us our lifestyle is fishing. Now the oil companies have destroyed all our creeks and everywhere. So the Atlantic Ocean, where onward fisheries from Lagos and other areas, they go to the Atlantic Ocean axis of the Niger Delta to get the type of ice fish that you see in our markets. But in the Niger Delta, none of the governors can carry out fishing industry. They cannot. Ice fish, seafood production alone. If Niger Delta governors and the federal government go into seafood production alone, all these our youths we are training in the name of amnesty will be engaged one way or another.
All right, Mr. Eva.
So we are begging them in the name of Almighty God. What is stopping them? Is it demons?
All right, Mr. Eva, we understand your point.
Seafood industries in the Niger Delta.
All right, Mr. Eva, we understand your point. We understand your point. Please calm down, Mr. Eva.
Our youths are roaming about doing nothing.
All right, calm down.
After training nothing, they are roaming about.
All right, Mr. Eva,
our seafood industry
can you tell
that
us?
Is dead.
Can you tell us, Mr. Eva, as a Niger Delta elder, if this peace will be sustainable? Because we have heard people say from that region, your region, the Niger Delta, there's peace because it's our own. We can't spoil it for him. So are you sincerely saying that the peace in the Niger Delta is sustainable, not because President Goodluck Jonathan is from that region?
No, because we are seeing that what the amnesty was started by Yaradua, the late Yaradua. That is why I have to try to, I'm sorry, going outside your destiny. The late Yaradua sent the former vice president, the current president, go to the creek and talk to your boys. That is why this Boko Haram matter, if they get to the conference, we will ask the conference people from the north, why can't your vice president also climb camel the way Jonathan entered canoe and paddle to the creek? Why can't the vice president also now relocate to Borno and Bauchi state on camel? Jonathan was inside canoe, paddling canoe to Oprosa, to the creek, to discuss with the militant. Now, Dr. Namimba Sambo is the vice president. Jonathan, the president, order your vice president also carry camel down to Bauchi and Borno. This militancy in the north will stop.
All right, Mr. Eva, my question precisely is, should President Jonathan not be president in 2015? Would there be peace in the Niger Delta?
No, if we are telling him, other people enjoy 2 term and all that, so you also perform very well, so that you can also now collect form and contest. It is left for him to contest, because we want him to go and collect form and also perform very well, because it is the performance. It is the Nigerian people. Jonathan became acting president because of Nigerian people. PDP stopped him that he will not be acting president. It happened in our generation. It was not 700 million years ago. PDP stopped him. They vowed that Jonathan will not be acting president. It was the Nigerian masses, same Nigerian group and other people, intellectuals and other mobilizers, and said, no, follow the constitution. If the president cannot do this and that because of health reason, you, the vice president, must be acting president. Failure to do that, Nigeria must stand still. That was how Jonathan became acting president. So if Jonathan perform, work for the people, we see energy, other things, mobilizing. As he's working, we want him to work further, because this election time, so that people will not say, Nigeria Delta, God and Nigerians give you opportunity, you waste it. People will laugh at our children. We don't want people to laugh at our children in the next 10, 20 years. So because of that, we're asking him, perform excellently so that the campaign train will now move. And get
all right, Joseph, if I ask you, I want to pick your brain on this matter. The security in Niger Delta has happened, you agree, because of the amnesty, and it's a lot more restful. But economic development hasn't necessarily happened. There's a report that says most of the ex-militants have benefited rather than the people from what is happening in the country today. How true is that?
What the people, the masses, the youths want in Niger Delta, after the training and all that, we want job for the people. That is not there. It is not there. And that is why we are saying that what is wrong? Because we are fishermen. We are all fishermen. That was our lifestyle in the creeks and all that. Now the oil companies destroy our creeks. The Atlantic Ocean is there. Fishing companies from Kirikiri Jetty, Apafa Jetty, they moved down to our own Atlantic Ocean, the axis of the Niger Delta area, to get all these commercial fishes that we are seeing. Why there is no fishing trawler in the whole Niger Delta by any state government, by the federal government, to even encourage commercial fishing for us to export seafood is not there. That is why we are now advising. If that is done, I'm telling you, the ex-militants that are returning with one job or the other training will now be engaged in these things, and there will be peace. If not, there will be no peace, because the idle brain is. And now that you have exposed them to other beautiful things in life and all that, and their brains are idle, they will use what they train outside the country to come and foment more trouble. That is our warning to the political class.
Thank you so much.
And that is also
Mr.
the reason that's why we are telling people, don't be afraid of when we are going to the conference. Maybe people will break Nigeria. No. Look at what is happening in South Sudan.
All right.
People say they want independence, they want independence. Look at the funny independence. South Sudan break up, and there was a country, and they form a country. Look at the greedy. The type of greedy politicians we have in this country. No tribe we want to break away from Nigeria. This, as we are big like elephant, is better.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph Ever. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Joseph Ever, coordinator Ijaw Monitoring Group. It's been excellent and also been an interesting, intriguing discussion we've had. The rest of the show continues right after the break.